So good morning everyone, good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomus, and you're all welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new, on this channel I talk about narcissism, I talk about personal development and growth, I talk about spirituality. So if any of that resonates with you, I invite you to join this channel. Like this page, give us a like, share with your friends, subscribe. And for those who have always been with us, returning subscribers, I welcome you back and I thank you for your continued love and support. So in this particular video, I'm going to help you guys to step out of your comfort zone. But before I do that, I'm going to share with you a short story about how I started doing YouTube. So that was 2 years ago. I was still entangled with a narcissist, and I thought about doing something that actually I can be able to show skill I can able to share my skills with the people out there, because I used to be a chef for a couple of years. I used to be a chef, and I went on YouTube and I did my first video. But again, again, like I said, I was still entangled with the narcissist in those days, the narcissist. So I did my first video. After 1 week, I started planning to do the next video. So on that particular day, I remember it was a weekend. Now, remember all this was going on. I used to have a normal job, a regular job that I was doing in those days. I used to have a normal regular job. So on that following weekend, I prepared all the things I needed. I put everything in place. I put all the ingredients I wanted to do the video. All the camera was in position. And believe me, guys, in that particular day, the narcissist came home and started an argument with me. Out of nowhere, out of the blue, they started an argument. Remember, you're in the mode of coming out on camera. You're in the mode of, I'd prepared myself like spiritually, mentally. I'd already prepared myself to come out because I was very excited. You know, like I really liked cooking. I really loved cooking. And we had a fight, a very, very intensive fight. Now, at the end of that fight, like all of you know, I always talk about narcissism. So you know that narcissists usually, they will come around and fight with you. Sometimes they will even try to support you. At the other day, they will devalue you, they will downgrade you, they will do everything. So they will try to put up a lot of chaos within your life. And sometimes you will find yourself losing focus of the things you're supposed to do. So anyhow, I did that video, the second one. I'm talking about the second one. So I did the video. But when I did that video, I went back, I sat back and I looked at that video. And I noticed that actually I was not in the proper mode, because you could see my face that I was a bit nervous. I was nervous and I was not myself, you know what I mean? Because usually, you know, after the fight, I would just feel that actually I was not even supposed to do that video on that particular day. I would even try to postpone, but it was not possible. So after the fight, I did the video, but I went back to look at the video. I didn't like what I saw because I was in a very bad mood. So I deleted that video actually from YouTube. So for the most of you who don't know my channel, you can go back to the very, very first video I did on this channel. That was 2 years ago. It was a cooking video, and that is how I was starting to come out to share my passion and to share my skills with the world. So later on, a couple of years later, that was around a year later, I got awakened from narcissistic abuse. So then later on, as I started developing, as I started working on myself, trying to grow, I was thinking, how can I share things with the world? How can I come out to the public? How can I start to help people? You know what I mean? Because I discovered that actually my purpose was involving helping people. So I was like, how am I going to help people? And I didn't know how to do it. And I'd even already forgotten about that YouTube channel. I'd completely forgotten about it because that was like years ago. Then I was like, actually, I can start sharing slowly. Eventually, you know, I had a Facebook page in those days. I was doing Facebook. So I started coming out on doing live feeds on Facebook, just talking about relationships. You know, I was just doing everything general. So I would do like live videos not about narcissism. I would just do things about relationships, because I was still not yet sure if I want to talk about narcissism. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know if I was the one who was. I didn't know if I will share anything about narcissism. Anybody wants to listen. Anybody will understand this. I didn't even know who will follow me if I start talking about narcissism, because I'd already discovered what narcissism was, but I did not know how to talk about it. Eventually, at one particular day, I remember a subject just came on that particular day. Something just came to my mind, and I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about flying monkeys, because that thing, flying monkeys, actually, um, it sounded funny to me. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, okay, so how can I talk about abuse, and then how can I bring in flying monkeys? You know, so the word flying monkeys alone um, motivated me to come out and talk about flying monkeys. Now, when I was talking about flying monkeys, all of a sudden during that live feed, the narcissism was started popping up. During when I was talking about the flying monkeys and everything, that's how I started to talk about the narcissism. And all of a sudden, I was like, okay, so during the session of that video, in the middle somewhere, I also put the word narcissism, and I took off from there. You know what I mean? So I started talking about narcissism all of a sudden. Believe me, guys, I got the feedback on that day, particular day. The video went well. I went back home, and in a few days later, somebody contacted me, and they was like, actually, you talked about something which seems like what I'm going through. You know what I mean? So there was a gentleman from abroad, somewhere. That was Malaysia. He reached out to me, told me, I like the content, I like what you were talking about, and I like to keep on. I would like you to keep on helping me so that I understand better. So as we talked about his story, then I discovered that actually his story was similar to my story, and we had all been involved with a narcissist. You know what I mean? And that is how I took off, guys. Believe me, from that day, I started coming out. Well, that was not YouTube by that time. It wasn't YouTube, so I was just doing things on Facebook. So I came on Facebook, like I used to do, like every week. I would like put out like 2 or 3 live feeds, and I would talk about narcissism. Now I started talking about narcissism, but that was on Facebook. So eventually I discovered that actually I can still go big. You know what I mean? From Facebook, I can still grow, and I can still spread out, even sometimes bigger than Facebook. So I thought about which other places can I go out to share. Then that's when I remember that actually for a long time ago I had a YouTube channel, which channel was not active because that time I'd let it go. I'd stopped operating on that channel. So I remembered my channel. I revisited that. I revisited that channel, and I was like, okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start making videos on YouTube. You know what I mean? And that is how, guys, I started doing videos on YouTube. That was 20. That was 2019, if I remember properly. If I remember well, could have been like 2019. Towards the end of 2019, I started doing YouTube. And believe me, guys, from that day, the rest is history. So the reason why actually I'm trying to do this video, I'm making this video today, is there is so many of you guys, awakened ones, chosen ones. You're out there, you've been through situations, you've been through, many of you on my page, you've been through abuse. And some other people have been through other situations, maybe it could be work situations. Even sometimes people have been through life-threatening situations. So maybe some people even have reached that extent whereby they have smelt death. They have even sometimes reached their deathbed and smelled death. And at the end of the day, you have got something you want to share. I want to guarantee you guys, the thing what actually slowed me down in most of those days, I'm talking about coming out and speaking. One of the things that slowed me down when I was starting to share my story, it was being very comfortable. So I noticed that actually I was very comfortable with whatever I was doing. In those days, I had a regular job, a 9 to 5. So you know that moment where you just wake up, go somewhere, work, come back, you're tired, and then you're thinking, oh, maybe this weekend I want to do a live feed. Maybe this weekend I want to do this. So at the end of the day, you are tied up in a place, and you do not know how can you move forward. How can you move forward? Because at the end of the day, most of the people, they are very much afraid to get out of their comfort zones. Because the reason why they call them comfort zones, a comfort zone can be your job, a comfort zone can be your home. There may be those people who want to sit down at home, watch TV, take the dogs to the park, take the dogs to the park, go visit their friends somewhere. That may be their comfort zone. Other people may be, their comfort zone may be just those jobs that they do not actually like, those jobs that are not even serving them. And again, I'm not talking about the people who are happy with their jobs. If you're a person on here and you're happy with whatever it is you're doing, you're okay with your money, you're okay with your life, the money is okay, you're happy with it, and your life looks like it's okay, you're serving people, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about those people who want to start doing self-development and improving their lives to move to the next level. So this is the video for you, and I'm going to help you understand the things you need to do for you to now step out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Because stepping out of your comfort zone is one of the biggest challenges for the people especially the people who are actually working towards improving their lives and becoming the best they can be. So it is one of the biggest challenges you're going to find along the way, chosen ones. So one of the things you've got to understand is that you can start moving with the minimum resources. Now, by this, what I mean is that there's people who think that, okay, so if I'm going to start a YouTube channel, I need to save for a camera. You know what I mean? So they are now thinking about a camera. Now, guys, I did not start my YouTube channel with a camera. For the most of the time, if you go on YouTube and you ask all the people who have been doing YouTube, the people who have been doing these platforms, the people who have got even the biggest platforms on YouTube, they have all started with their phones. The majority of people on YouTube, I can guarantee you guys, they have started with their phones. It is the phone you have, the phone you're taking, that phone that you're using to take Instagram selfies. You know what I mean? Some of the guys want to be out there, going out on Instagram and showing different kinds of challenges and everything. It is that same phone that can actually help you to start your journey of self-development. The phone can record a video that you can even post on YouTube. So most of you, you may try to want to get out of that mindset of thinking that you have got to have a big camera to start to start a YouTube channel. Oh, you know, I need a laptop, you need a camera, you need this, you need that, you need that. It is always an excuse. Most of the times when you create excuses, you can never start. So you have got to understand that it's important to start with the minimum resources. It is the phone you have in your hand, the phone you're using to like other people's pages on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. That same phone you have, it is the same phone you can use to start your own channel. I personally don't have a camera. I personally do things on my phone. You know what I mean? Because my phone can do everything. I just feel that everything is manageable on the phone. You know what I mean? So I do not have any reasons for me to think that I have got to have a camera. The camera is going to come eventually. The camera will come. But I do not have to sit down there. I didn't have to sit down there and wait, oh, when is the camera going to come? I need to save money and this and that. So stepping out of your comfort zone, you have got to understand there is always a chance for you to start with the minimum resources. So do not make excuses because you do not have some things for you to start. You know what I mean? So if you're the person who wants to start, who wants to, maybe you want to start write a book or something like that, you can always start from, guys, you can always understand that you can start from somewhere. The people who have always grown big, the people who have always become famous, when you hear their stories, people, they have always started somewhere. You're a person who wants to write a book. Yes, you have got a schedule, a regular job, you have got a schedule, 9 to 5 or something like that. Maybe you're working 4 or 5 days a week. You can always use 2 hours in a week. You have got 24 hours in a day, and there is 2 hours, there is at least 7 days in a week. So there are at least some days of the week that you're not working, some days of the week that you're off. Those are the weeks, those are the days you should actually use to create whatever it is you want. If you're a person who wants to write a book, you're thinking about writing a book, you can decide to say, okay, so when you're off on Saturday or when you're off on Sunday, just take a book, you know, try to sketch out whatever it is you want to write. Start with a sketch. Everything that has happened, people, it has started with a sketch. My channel started with a cooking video. I did not even know if I was going to end up in this channel talking about narcissism. I started with the cooking video. That's what I thought I could do. So start with a sketch. Sketch out something. Just start something. Don't worry about being perfect. Most of the times, most of the guys, they are very worried about perfection. You know what I mean? But if you learn to stand out, to come out, and to be vulnerable, always when you are growing, people, you have got to understand, allow yourself to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? So don't worry about your hairstyle is looking a different way. For the most of you ladies out there, you want to look good. Yes, it's okay to look good on camera. But most of the times, you can end up procrastinating just because you think your hair is not looking good. You know, the camera you have is not working well. The phone you have is a bit this, is a bit that. So you're going to find all these kind of small excuses. But guys, I can guarantee you, most of the time is important. When you want to start growing, do not worry about the way you look. You have got to understand to accept yourself and your vulnerability. You can always be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's all right. There's no problem with that. So don't worry about your shirt is looking a certain way, your hair is looking a certain way. Maybe you don't have the right makeup. For you ladies, most of you want to come out with the right makeup or something like that. You always have to come out and make sure. You always have to come out. Do not make any excuses. Try to be vulnerable and allow yourself to be who you are. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, is by you stepping into your authenticity. Most of the times when we think about, we do not have the right equipment, we don't have the right makeup, we don't have the right hairstyle. You don't have the right the right cameras. You don't have the right anything. What you do, guys, you have got to start from somewhere. So don't think about yourself not being adequate enough. Come out the way you are. You know what I mean? Start from somewhere. Most of the time, development starts by understanding your vulnerability. When you step out, when you step into your authenticity, you allow yourself to be vulnerable. And nobody is perfect. You have got to understand you do not have to be perfect for you to do the best thing. You can come out the way you are. The thing is going to come out and work out the way it should be eventually. The second thing you're supposed to understand is most of these things take time. So you see a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube who have been doing YouTube. I know somebody who has done YouTube for, they could have been doing YouTube like for 3 years. They started like YouTube 3 years ago. And just recently, they just had 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? After 3 years of doing YouTube consistently and persistently, they have just earned 1,000 subscribers just a few weeks ago. So most of the people, they want to earn, they want to get the profits in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time. You know what I mean? Do not put a limit. The very moment you put a limit to yourself, you say, okay, so by the end of next week, I will have 1,000, I will have 2,000, I'll have 3,000. Yes, it could happen. But the more you focus on it, is the more it doesn't happen, because now you're putting a lot of energy. Because when you're sending out that energy, that it is what you want, you know what I mean? But now you're forgetting the work you need to do, because you're looking at the results. Spiritual growth and personal development. This is a journey, people. You have got to understand this is a journey and not a destination. There is people who have been on YouTube. They will come out one day, all of a sudden, they have got 1 million subscribers. They have got 1,000 subscribers. They have got 2,000 subscribers in a single day. There are some people who will spend years without even getting 500 subscribers. There are some people who will work and put in the work. They'll be putting in the work, but the progress will be slow. And guys, you have got to understand that everything has got its own time. So you do not have to worry about when something is going to evolve, when something is going to finally work out. Just worry about that time, that now moment. The most important time, the most important thing you have to understand is cultivating the now moment, the moment you are in at that moment. What is going to happen tomorrow? You have got the power to change what is going to happen to you tomorrow, but you don't have the power to change what happened to you yesterday. So what matters is what you have now and what is going to happen later. So do not think about growing or sometimes succeeding in the next few days, in the next few weeks. It could happen, but if it happens, that should be a bonus and it should be a miracle. But you should always focus in putting in the work. You know what I mean? So for the most of you, stepping out of your comfort zone, you're going to realize most of the time you're the only person standing in your way. You know what I mean? So stepping out in your comfort zone, you should understand that the thing that you're pursuing, whatever it is you're pursuing, it is going to take time. It is going to take patience. It is going to take work. It is going to take efforts. The only thing you should think about is thinking every single morning you wake up in the morning, you have got to think, what do you need to do to make an impact on somebody else's life? You know what I mean? What do you need to do? How can you be of service? What have you got to offer? You may be a person who is creative. You may be a person who is into the food industry. You maybe have an idea of a drink you can create. You can create some kind of a vitamin drink, a multivitamin drink or something like that. If you're in the food industry, you may be a person who is good with medicine. You can create some kind of a medicine that is going to help people. You can be a person who is a designer. You know how to draw. You can create something that can be used on labels of t-shirts, on labels. All these things you are wearing, they have got labels. You know what I mean? They have got labels and we are buying those labels. There was an idea, there was a brain behind those labels, the things we are wearing. For the most of you like to go into these kind of Gucci shows, Versace and whatever, everything you're wearing, everything we're using, everything from the beginning of our day to the end, whatever we touch, it has been created by somebody. So there was somebody woke up in the morning and they thought about creating something and being of service to others. The cups we used to drink our tea, the plates we used to eat, the cars we drive, all these things have got the idea and the ideology behind them. They have got the brain behind them. And those are the people who are living in abundance, because each and every single day we are waking up and supporting their dreams. So for you to think about developing and self-development and growth, it is important for you to wake up every single morning and think about what can you do. Is there anything you can do to be of service? For me, each and every single morning, I want to wake up and think about how I can help people get out of narcissistic relationships, even sometimes I help people to step into self-development. I help people find their purpose. So that's what I want to do. But for you, it can be different. You can be a medic, you can be a health practitioner, you can be an artist, you can be a choreographer, you can be a musician, a movie star, you can be anything. But as long as it is something of service to other people, it is going to make is going to make you abundant, and it's going to be worth the try. So do not allow yourself to get in your own way. You have got to wake up and understand you are enough. You have got everything it takes. The energy, the secret, and everything you need is inside you. Nobody will ever lie to you, guys. I can guarantee you this. If you're a person who is waking up every single morning, yes, because at the end of the day, stepping into purpose, it can be a challenge, because most of the times you are entangled in some kind of a relationship, you are entangled in some kind of a job situation or something. You might have been with people for 20 years. You've been in a relationship for 20 years. You've been in a job place for 10 years. You do not know how to get out. But you can always understand that it is okay to take baby steps. Wake up each and every single morning, and sacrifice a very small amount of time. It can even be half an hour. It can be half an hour, it can be an hour. But as long as you are moving towards your dreams, whatever it is, you have got a focus. You've seen what you want to do. Wake up each and every single morning and put a brick to your building, to your house, whatever it is you want to create. Wake up each and every single morning, write a paragraph to your book you're trying to write, the book you're trying to create. Get a pen and a paper, write at least one paragraph each and every single morning. And believe me, guys, at the end of the year, your book is going to be done. And you're going to now think about the next step, which is publishing and all these kind of things. I don't know the procedures necessary for publishing books or whatever, but you are going to be one step closer to your dreams. So the schedule of getting tied up in a place has been the biggest problem of us, because most of the times when you're tied up to something, it makes you, first of all, you lose a lot of time. Number two, you lose a lot of energy. And at the end of the day, when you finish whatever it is you're doing, you're coming back home and you're thinking, okay, so you've been working for like 8 hours, maybe 10 hours or 12 hours. And then you're thinking, now what are you going to do? What are you going to do next in the day? You're going to rest, you're going to take a shower, you're going to eat, and you're going to do other things. You're going to take the dogs to the park, you're going to do other things. Now, you do not have time to create for yourself the life you want to live, because now you're already living in you're living somebody else's life. You're going out there to serve somebody else. You are serving somebody else who already have their dream. Those people they are serving, the jobs you're doing, most of the jobs you're doing, you're actually helping those individuals who already have got things going on for themselves. They have already created, they are living their purpose. They have started a company, it could be a steel company, a car company, a clothing company. You are now working for them and you're serving them. But at the end of the day, people, you're supposed to be of service to your own self. Wake up each and every single morning and serve yourself. It is okay to have a job. It's okay to have something that is regular, because at the end of the day, you cannot just wake up on one particular day and jump out of your workplace without nothing, without a plan B. Yes, you can always have a project, a plan ahead of you. So what you do, you can keep the job. If it's a 9 to 5, you can keep the job. You work all the days you're supposed to work, but each and every single week, you can create just one day to focus on what it is you want to achieve. Guys, there's always a chance to do that. Focus on what it is you want to achieve. Start that book. Start writing that song. Do that. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever craft is it could be a painting. Go do that painting on the weekend. If you're somebody who likes to go dancing, whatever it is, spare some hours in the week, go dancing. At the end of the day, guys, you're going to find that actually you're getting more attached to that thing, what actually fulfills your soul, the thing that actually looks like it is what you need to do, your purpose. You're going to get aligned with your purpose, because you are not making sure that you sacrifice all your week, all your working hours, and all your days to something that is not serving you. You can do that because at the end of the day, you need it to survive. But at the end of the day, you can also create an extra time for you to follow your path and to follow your passion. So these days, this video has been basically about procrastination. You know what I mean? Stepping out of your comfort zone and procrastination. So for the most of you along this journey of growth and self-development, it is going to become obvious, because you are going to sit down somewhere. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. Guys, most of the biggest problem, the biggest poison of humanity is getting comfortable. You can find somebody who is waking up at 11 o'clock. Sometimes they are sleeping until 11. By the time they're getting up, people already in their, people have already achieved the last 4 hours. People already have achieved so much money in the last 4 hours. Somebody is waking up at 11 o'clock. So you always have to understand that it is okay to break the routine. Start by breaking the routine. If a person who has been waking up like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I don't know, everybody has got a different working time or whatever. Guys, you cannot achieve something by waking up late. You can go to bed early, you can wake up early, and in those 4 hours, believe me, the moment you wake up, your brain is refreshed and you're going to think about something, what it is you have got to do. Even before you start your job, you could be a person who's starting your job at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. In the morning hours from 6 to 10, you have got 4 hours. Those hours, you can use those hours to create something. It is possible to create in those 4 hours, even before you go to your job. You can even do a video. A video takes 10, 20 minutes. You can use your camera in the morning, you get up, you do a video. Just do a video, talk about anything, be organic. Most of the people think that when you come to do these videos, you're supposed to follow a certain script. There is no script for making videos, guys. There's no script for making videos. I know some people on YouTube, they're going around the world and just trying different foods. Some people are going around filming nature, doing this, and they're creating videos. Just do a video, whatever it is. If a person wants to come out on YouTube, you want to start your own platform, just do a video in the morning, 10 minutes. By the time you finish work, you can post it and see how it looks like and start from there. You can be organic, guys. There's no roadmap. There's no particular roadmap to success. The only thing is starting. You have got to start. You have got to be a starter. You know what I mean? So, that being said, guys, I don't know if there's something I've not mentioned. For the most of you who are getting very comfortable, you're trying to grow, but at the end of the day, you're still being very comfortable. You have got to know how to step out of your comfort zone. People are going to talk about you. People are going to point fingers at you, like the video I've done yesterday. Some of the people, when they see you starting to make moves, it starts to make them uncomfortable. They start to feel like maybe they start to see you as being better than them or something like that. A lot of things are going to happen. There will be criticism. Sometimes people will fall out with you. But people, when you're following your purpose, it is important to know that it's not going to be comfortable. The reason why they call it the reason why it is uncomfortable, this is because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. So the very moment you step out of your comfort zone, whether it has been a relationship that is not serving you, a toxic relationship, whether it has been a work situation, whatever it has been, the moment you decide to step out of your comfort zone, you start to become uncomfortable because now your body and your mind is not prepared for that kind of routine. You know what I mean? So you're not prepared for the new things that are going to happen. And you do not, at the same time, you do not know what to expect. So when the mind gets too comfortable, it puts you in a situation whereby you become very comfortable, and you don't know what to move. But the very moment you start to take a step forward, guys, the journey starts to be uncomfortable. But the secret to self-development and personal growth is you learning how to be uncomfortable. The very moment you start to be comfortable doing the uncomfortable, that is where the magic is going to happen. That is where you're going to understand that actually you're starting to grow. Guys, I can guarantee you when I started this platform, I was very uncomfortable in the beginning. It is the last thing I thought that I would be coming out here to help people online. I never thought I would be some kind of a coach online or something like that. I never thought about something like that. When I started doing it, it was very uncomfortable. I was not even sure that I want to continue. But guys, I can guarantee you, the secret is becoming comfortable in doing the uncomfortable. And by doing that, you're stepping out of your comfort zone. So don't allow your comfort zone to put you to sleep, because the comfort zone is the problem. Becoming comfortable is the problem. You have got to break the routine. The very moment you break the routine, you challenge your mind to different things, to new things, to different things, to explore other things that you don't know already, because the comfort zone keeps you in one place. But when you step out of the comfort zone, it allows your brain and your mind to look at life in a different perspective. Because in that way, it is how now you can start to see your passions, to discover your passions. Some people have been teachers. There's people I've known on YouTube, they have been teachers. And they were thinking that they're not going to teach for the rest of their lives. That's not what they're going to do. They cannot wake up every single morning to teach. Yes, it was paying them money, it was okay. But that wasn't their passion. It was not something that was fulfilling them. But at the end of the day, there's some other people who want to teach. It is what they want to do. They are comfortable with it. It's their passion. You have got to step out of something that you do not like. You do not like a job, start making the moves, step out. You have got the power and the choices to make. So you can always step out and start looking for your passion. Look around you. There's so many possibilities. The universe is infinite. The universe is infinite. There's so many different types of possibilities. You cannot be locked up in a place that you don't like. For the most of you on this channel, you're on those jobs you don't like. You hate your jobs. You wake up each and every single morning complaining about those jobs. The jobs, you hate the jobs to the core. You hate your managers. You hate your supervisors. You hate traveling on those buses. Whatever it is, you hate your jobs. You can always do something about it. The universe is infinite. The very moment you discover that actually the job you're doing is not serving you, you can now start to make the choice to change something about it. You can do something in baby steps. Start with baby steps, one by one, step by step. You're going to discover that your mind now is pushing you to a different direction, and that is exactly where you're going to find your purpose and your passion and the thing that's going to make you happy and at the same time create you an income. So guys, that being said, something I not mentioned, as always, you know the drill. Let it be known in the comment section below. It has been a lovely day to have you guys on board. I'll get back in touch with you. Much love and blessings, and there's more signing out.